we came home at noon.
Mm-hmm.
We walked to school every day. Nobody had a car. If you had a car, you didn't have any gas to put in it. So we walked home at noon from Lawton High School and junior high where we were. And Mother came from the courthouse, fixed lunch. We all sat down and ate together and then rushed back to do it within an hour. How we did it, how she did it, I will never know, but we did. We walked everywhere. Mm-hmm. There was no transportation except our feet. And so, but we were happy. We were happy. Of course, you know, really, when we graduated from Lawton Junior High, we just walked through the gymnasium into the auditorium and then on in there. But if you came in the front door, you just thought, this is a cavern. This place is huge. The ceilings were so high, and the steps were already worn, had dents in them already.
And they were stone.
And they were stone, yes. But I thought, oh, we had finally arrived. We'd made the palace.
Right.
And we were very glad to be there. Well, I was impressed with the dome because that looked like something, as if it might have been a Capitol building of some kind. Mm-hmm. And that when they put that gilt on there, we just thought that was really something. Yes, we were impressed by the columns outside and getting to sit on the front steps till the bell rang. We were supposed to stay off the grass. We were not allowed to get on the grass. Of course, we did sneak on a little bit. But mainly we sat on the steps by groups, clumps, you know, mm-hmm. mainly by classes and by our preferred companions, that sort of thing. You know, I loved it. My happiest days were Lawton High School. I look back at them and I just think, oh, that was so great. That was so wonderful. And we had a lot of fun, and we learned too. We learned.
Did you feel like you got a good education?
Oh, I really do. I really do. You know, if you had a 90 average in your classes, for the midterms and the finals, you did not have to take the exams. And I made sure I hit 90 because I did not want to take an exam. Because I am a nervous wreck during exams. You know, my brain turns to oatmeal or something. I'm just not good at it as a test taker. At least I thought I was at that time. I learned better. But I managed to make a 90 every time so I wouldn't have to take those tests. I wanted to avoid them like the plague.
Did you ever take a test?
No. No, never did. Almost had to with Margaret Fox, who taught plain geometry. Scared the britches off of me. She was a very nice person, but you'd say math to me and I still go into nervous rigor. I'm not a mathematician at all.
We've gotten that response before.
Have you?
Miss Fox, yes we have.
Oh, she's a wonderful person.
And a wonderful teacher.
Yes, she was. But if you're talking about teachers that you loved, I know the first one on everybody's list is Benita Lee.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
Benita Lee, I loved her. And I loved Miss Boak, B-O-A-K.
Oh, yeah, but she teaches.
She taught Latin, and I dearly loved it. I fell in love with languages under her hand. And, of course, Miss Neville, who taught French, and married Glenn Dosser, the coach. Yes. That was the strangest coming together of two people in my entire life. You know, she went out. You know, the boys always practiced football out at Craterville most of the time, and she drove out there one time, and the boys told us about it later that Glenn Dosser walked over to her and they shook hands. The boys just thought that was just a howl because they wanted to see them kiss, and they didn't. You know, they shook hands. Everybody just laughed about that. Yes, I love Miss Neville too, and Lois Hawkins, who was our typing teacher. Mm-hmm. Very nice person. Oh, I wish I could remember the other names. Mr. Hill taught biology. I liked him okay. In fact, he said if we would all give him $1 to pay for this dead horse, he would give us at least a B. And so, boy, you never saw the money come in so fast. Yes, honestly, he did this. Yeah, he said.
And he got away with it?
I don't know that the school ever found out, but all of a sudden we were geniuses, you know.
So what was your favorite? Latin, obviously, and maybe English?
English and journalism. That's what I was going to be a hotshot reporter, and I was going to be the female Ernie Pyle.
Did you do it?
No.
Well, you could have.
I could have, but you know what? I got married. Stupid, dumb, what else? You know, it was just like I threw the towel in. Ridiculous. Well, in the first place, our classmates that we dearly loved were in harm's way. Our families had all of us had brothers overseas, you know, somebody connected to us. It's like the good times stopped, sort of. There was nobody to date, you know. The guys were gone, and so where'd we go? We went to USO. And I'd never danced a lick in my life till after I got out of high school. And I told Mother I was going to go down and learn to dance.
And Mother said?
And Mother was very much still the preacher's wife. Well, Beck, she says, I said, okay, Mom, you got your choice. I can be on a dance floor in front of God and everybody in this whole town, or I can be in a car necking with some boy. Now, what do you want? She said, get down to that USO. So I went. And so I went and I learned how to dance. Got real good too, by the way. Yeah. I remember there were long patches of loneliness because you missed your chums.
Sure.
And they were over getting shot at and all that stuff. Your brothers were in harm's way. I don't know, there was such a freedom. We just didn't have to worry about somebody getting on our case all the time. It seemed as if we were just freer to move about and speak the way we wanted to, and nobody got on our case. I got expelled when I was a senior in high school.
Oh yes, you must tell us.
I have to tell you about that.
Oh yes.
There were 4 of us that got expelled.
Oh, well, if you were in good company.
Oh, well, yes. There was yours truly, and Coeta Bettis, Coeta Bettis, Ralph Spencer, who was my sweetheart, and Dan Wessner.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
I know Dr. Wessner. I knew him.
Here's what we did. It was a Friday. It was springtime.
I bet.
And Ralph had his mother's car. We never had a car, but he had a car that day. We went to our first 2 classes and then went out and got in the car and went to the mountains and drove around all day and just had the best time.
Oh, yes.
We just had a wonderful time. And we got back to the campus at 3 o'clock to find Patsy Kennard wringing her hands on the corner. If you had made it by 2:15, you wouldn't get expelled, but you are expelled. So we went up to see the goose. Bless his heart, he was at our church, and he just clucked and clucked when he saw me. And I thought, well, here comes the hand of doom. So we were all expelled for 3 days, and he sent them home. But no, I had to sit next to his desk for 3 days in his office. He said, I know this was your idea. It really wasn't, but I didn't turn it down. I just went out and got in the car and had a wonderful time. No, we got kicked out. And so I went down, he says, your mother's waiting for you at the courthouse. Oh. So I walked down there. When I came in, she did like this. And we went into the vault, and she closed the door and sat down at the table and put her head down on the table and cried and broke my heart. I made my mother cry. She says, I've had 3 boys in this school and not one of them ever got expelled. The heck they didn't. They did, but I didn't tell on them.